for joining the Pranayama class this week. Today we're going to focus on Kapalabhati and Nadi Shodhana. Now a couple weeks ago, if you joined live, you had the same class. We did a lot of Nadi Shodhana and a little Kapalabhati. Unfortunately, the recording didn't work. I'm not sure why, so I'm re-recording. And if you joined last time live, I'm going to change things up just a little bit for this one. So a couple things. First, Kapalabhati, sometimes called the skull shining breath, is a short, sharp exhale and a passive inhale through your nose. It can be anywhere from between 1 breath every 2 seconds or even up to 4 breaths every 1 second. So if it's new to you, it's important to make sure you're exhaling forcefully, inhaling passively, and allow an inhalation to come in after every exhale. If it's new to you, you might want to even bring your hands to your navel to make sure your navel moves back when you breathe out quickly and let it relax when you breathe in passively. So we'll do a few rounds of that, mostly just to help clear the nasal passages, because what we find is if you try to do alternate nostril breathing, also known as Nadi Shodhana, and you're a little stuffy, it just doesn't work. In fact, it can make you very anxious because you can't breathe through one of your nostrils. So, having said that, when we start these Kapalabhati, these short, sharp exhales, if you have things flying out of your nose, don't stop. Keep going. That's kind of why we're doing it. Now, once we get to the alternate nostril breathing part, then think about your open nostril like a valve. So it's somewhat important where you press when you block off your nostril. At the very top of your nostril crease on both sides, if you press straight back into your cheekbone, you'll feel a little indentation in the bone, and it might feel kind of sensitive. It's like a pressure point. In Ayurveda, they call these marma points. That's kind of where it is where you want to press ideally. It's not wrong if you do, but you get a little more benefit if you press on that spot. So on my right nostril, I'm going to use my thumb to completely block off that nostril and press in that spot. I'm going to use my ring finger to lightly press on that spot. So I make my nostril a little more narrow, like I'm narrowing a valve, which will help me to lengthen the breath. Because almost always that's what we're trying to do, in most cases anyway, we're trying to lengthen the breath. Now in some cases, if you have a deviated septum or if you're still a little stuffy on one side, you might need to do the opposite. You might need to use your free finger or your thumb to kind of pull that nostril more open so you can actually breathe through it. But think of your open nostril like a valve. And finally, now I'm going to suggest we have a ratio of 1, 1, 2. So that means if you're inhaling for 5 seconds, I'm going to ask you to hold the breath in for 5 seconds, but exhale for 10 seconds. If you're inhaling for 8 seconds, in this case you hold the breath in for 8, exhale for 16. Or whatever count feels right for you. It'll probably take a few rounds to find the right count, but once you do, you want to try to stay at that count for today's class, about 10 minutes. One more thing to mention, if you find the following inhale is rushed, that means you're trying a little too hard. So like everything in yoga, you need to find the right amount of effort to use in pranayama as well. Right? Then after we do about 10 minutes of Nadi Shodhana, all this alternate nostril breathing, then we'll sit for about 5 more minutes, mostly because what the ancient yogis found was alternate nostril breathing is one of the best ways to prepare for meditation. They believe you get into deeper states of meditation quicker if you do some alternate nostril breathing first. So we'll sit for a few minutes afterward. Having said that, let's have a seat and do whatever you want, whatever you need to make yourself really comfortable when you sit. As I oftentimes say, the more shin you get on the floor, the better. So you might want to prop your hips up on something. We will end up sitting for about 20 minutes now, so do whatever you need to do. So for these next 20 minutes, your body will not be a distraction. If a 1 foot falls asleep, changing the cross of your legs helps quite a bit usually. At some point though, if your knee or back is just killing you and you don't have props to help or the props aren't helping, you can go ahead and lie into your back as well. It's just a little bit better when you're sitting up, but you don't want to injure yourself or be in extreme pain the whole time you're trying to do this subtle work. All right? Okay. So sit up nice and tall. Let me get a little drink before we start. Oh, one last thing. I've got a metronome app on my phone. It's going to click once every second once we start with the alternate nostril breathing, so you know how long you're inhaling and exhaling for, okay? All right. Now sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes, and as I mentioned, if Kapalabhati is new to you, bring your hands to your navel. Make sure your navel moves back when you breathe out quickly, Allow your abdomen and your navel to soften as you breathe in passively. So if it's not new to you, either rest your hands on your knees or your lap, whichever is more comfortable. And now do 36 Kapalabhati breaths. After 36, just allow yourself to breathe freely. Now for the second round of 36, bring your arms up, interlace your fingers, and press your palms toward the ceiling. And then continue. After 36, arms down, breathe freely. Now for the last 36, arms up again, but now bend your elbows and touch the opposite shoulder with your fingertips. After 36, arms down, breathe freely. All right, now I'm going to talk us through the first couple rounds of Nadi Shodhana, and then I'll let you go at your own pace. Okay. From here, begin to engage Jalandhara Bandha, the chin lock, right? Lifting your heart but gently bowing your head. This helps to keep the heart vibrant but the mind very tranquil. Exhale all the breath out. Inhale through both nostrils. Very top of inhale now. Let's do a brief pause as you bend your right elbow. Use your thumb to completely block off your right nostril. Rest your ring finger on your left nostril as you exhale silently and slowly through that left side. When you're done exhaling, inhale through that same nostril, so inhale through the left. Very top of inhale, release your hand down, pause here, focus on your heart staying vibrant, but your mind very tranquil. Okay, bend your right elbow again. This time use your ring finger to completely block off your left nostril. Rest your thumb on your right as you exhale silently and slowly through that right side. Then inhale through your right nostril. Top of inhale, release your hand down, do the Antara Kumbhaka, which means internal breath retention with Jalandhara Bandha. Bend your right elbow, use your thumb to completely block off your right nostril. Exhale through your left. Then inhale through your left. Release your hand down, pause here. Now block off your left nostril and exhale through your right. And inhale through your right. Release your hand down, pause. Now continue on your own at your own pace. Remember, count how long you inhale for, pause at the top of inhale for that same count, but slow the exhale down so it's twice as slow as your inhale. Once you've completed this round, allow yourself to breathe freely again. And then if it feels like you need to change the cross of your legs or adjust your seat or even lay down, then take care of that. Now practice Jiva Mudra by bringing the tip of your tongue to touch the gum line where the roof of your mouth and your front teeth meet. At the tip of your tongue, touch the gum line where the roof of your mouth and your front teeth meet. And now focus all of your attention on the sensation the breath is creating as it's rising and falling through both nostrils, but without controlling it or shaping it. Simply observe the sensation the breath is creating as it's rising and falling through both nostrils. If you notice that one nostril is more open than the other, shift your awareness so you just focus on the breath rising and falling through the less active side. See if you could fine-tune your awareness so much that the only thing you sense is the breath rising and falling through the less active nostril. Now bring your palms together to Anjali Mudra. Take one last moment to enjoy the peace you've created through the practice. So let's rub your palms together, create a little heat in your hands. Once you've built some heat, rest your hands over your eyes, feel it moving in, recharging your senses. And take one last slow, smooth breath in here. And create a little more heat. And now rest your hands over your navel and feel the heat bringing you back into your body. And press your hands down to your thighs, the calves and feet so you feel a little more grounded. gently open your eyes. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed class. Have a fantastic day, and I hope I get to see you again soon.